basically. But he was like the only one left on my queue because I'd like
so he wasn't even a first. What was about him that stood out to you?
He 24-hour extended me on Bumble.
Okay.
And he had a cat. He had a new kitten. He had a baby cat.
So being wanted and being able to take care of something.
I mean, listen, honestly,
minimum,
that's truly a lot of it, you know? And so we started texting while I was in Winnipeg, but we'd matched back in Toronto, so he was back there.
Okay.
So we just texted for a while. And so he was like literally the last person that I went on a date with because I was like, I'll just meet you and then that's it. Like I already winded down everybody else I was seeing at that time. And then we met, and then here's the most wild thing is we went on a date and it was pretty boring. And after that date, I said, you know, it was really nice, but like I don't think we need to go out, but like we could be friends. Like I like talking about cats with you, you know? And then 3 days later I had a mental breakdown. I had a real it was election night. It was like election night. I was avoiding Twitter so hard, and like I just like was very overwhelmed about like the state of the world, and I had a real mental breakdown, and I was crying and like losing my mind, having like a real psycho.
Yeah, it was a hard time.
Yeah, a real psycho panic attack. It was a Tuesday night, and then because like we'd agreed to be friends basically.
You did, but did you mean that? Because it's like I always think it's psychotic when people, especially close, like maybe in your teens, but you know, I'm in my 30s, when you end a first date and say I want to be friends, because it's like I have friends, unless we hit it off really well, but I always feel like it's just a way to be nice. But did you really want to be his friend?
Well, at that point, like we were texting so much, and truly we were mostly talking about cats, and I was like, I really could talk about cats until the end of the earth. So like, why not, you know?
Sure.
But it wasn't like I didn't really know him. Like we talked for a couple of days on the app, and then we met that one time. Like I'd barely known him a week. Do you know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
So I was like,
there's an excitement as a Gemini. I'm not a Gemini, but I understand the excitement of someone you don't quite know. Yeah. They could be the coolest person.
Totally.
Once you get to know them, they're not that cool anymore.
It's true, because they haven't heard any of your stories yet. So you're like, you're so charmed by me. I love this, you know? But so, but just because he was like one of the people I was talking to a lot that day, like around that time. So I had my mental breakdown, and he was like trying to talk me through it. And I really was like, I'm losing my fucking mind. And he was like, he didn't know me that well. So he was just like, oh, like you're really going through it. And like, I don't want you to be, you know, to like do something dangerous or whatever. So like, why don't you just come over and like, we're not going to do anything. Like, I'm not going to take advantage of you or any of that stuff. Just like come so that you can be safe. And then I'll like,
but he clearly was into you, because I'm thinking to walk through someone through a mental breakdown that told them they just want to be friends. So he's probably a water sign. Okay. So, but very.
So then, but then I went, and to be fair, to his credit, he did keep his whole thing, you know, like we didn't do anything sexy or anything.
Had you guys had any like kisses before that, or any physical?
We'd made out, and I didn't like it, and it was like a lot. It was like really part of why I didn't want to date him.
Oh my god, I feel like this convo is maybe helping you remember why it's okay to be broken up with him. But
well, yeah, no, I'm really, I'm quite.
I didn't like making out with him.
really quite happy about it. I just it took me a year and a half, which is like that was a really long time. But I think he was just very into me, and to be honest, like, you know, we've all had childhood trauma. It's nice to have someone be into you, you know, and you're just like, well, I can't let this go, because that doesn't happen all the time.
Yeah, but then you find out you can be nice to yourself.
It's true. Oh my god, that really is the moral of therapy, isn't it?
I learned during the pandemic. It was a hard lesson.
You can be nice to. I mean, that's literally what I go to therapy for.
It's difficult. I know it sounds silly, but I literally wrote in my like little diary, like, because I was beginning my relationship too, and I wasn't sure if, you know, with the world ending, my boyfriend is more stable, but I think he was like, let me think about the world ending first, and not this relationship or your needs before I commit. Well, I mean, but
I think that's very measured of him. Yes. I think the problem with the guy I was seeing is that he had no boundaries.
Well, see, that's what I mean. He, like, to me now I see that as a plus. I'm glad he did that, but at the time I'm like, no, drop everything and do
right.
I'm important, and he was like, yeah, but I don't know you that well yet, and before I jump into this, and take responsibility, I would like to know you. And
that's
what
so
I wrote down,
emotionally stable of him, honestly. Good job, you.
Honestly, I think he helped me learn this, but I literally had to write down, like, if I am I didn't quite love myself yet, but I was saying, like, I love myself, and the person I'd be with should love me equal or more than I love me, because why would I be with someone who loves me less? Because that would be like diluting the quality of my own love. So that is not how I used to think, but it did take me all the pandemic to learn that. So